Aryna Sabalenka set for $20,000 fine as Novak Djokovic accused of hijacking Australian Open final. The Serbian tennis star caused a stir just hours after Madison Keys won the women's final. Australian Open runner-up Aryna Sabalenka could be facing a big fine for her post-match reaction in the final. And Novak Djokovic has been called out for posting his injury scans at a time when the tennis world was celebrating Madison Keys' maiden Grand Slam triumph. Sabalenka divided the tennis world after her loss to Keys in the Australian Open final, letting out her disappointment and frustration on her racket as the Americans celebrated her victory. The world number one was shattered. She couldn't create history, having fallen short of winning her third straight Australian Open title and joining a list of legends. Sabalenka buried her head in a towel as she let out her emotions, and then walked off court before the trophy presentation. But she composed herself before delivering a classy and humble speech to win back the fans. However, her moment of frustration with the racket certainly divided fans. Many felt her racket smash after match point was not a good look and took away from Keys' moment. Others felt it showed how important winning another Australian Open meant to the Belarusian. Regardless, the world number one is facing a big fine for her outburst. The maximum penalty for racket abuse is $50,000. While Sabalenka won't be whacked with a fine that big, she could be looking at around $15,000 to $20,000 considering her moment occurred on the biggest stage for women's tennis. Sabalenka admitted her racket smash helped release frustration ahead of the classy runner-up speech. "There definitely was a bit of frustration because I was so close to achieving something crazy," Sabalenka said. "When you're out there, you're fighting, but it seems like everything going not the way you really want to go. I just needed to throw those negative emotions at the end just so I could give a speech, not stand there being disrespectful. I was just trying to let it go and be a good person." In comparison, Daniil Medvedev copped a $16,000 fine for his first-round behavior when he smashed a GoPro camera situated on the net. While Medvedev's incident appeared worse for his repeated attempts to hit the camera, it certainly wasn't on the same stage as Sabalenka, with fans around the world tuning in to the women's epic final. This is why Sabalenka's fine could be upwards of $20,000. Regardless, the fine will be a small price to pay considering Sabalenka won $1.9 million for finishing second at this year's tournament. Medvedev's total fine was $122,000 after he was sanctioned for intimidating an official when he feigned to hit a ball towards them, and while Sabalenka will be waiting to find out her penalty, fans have taken aim at Djokovic for the timing of his response to critics. While the tennis world was celebrating Keys' epic Grand Slam triumph, many felt Djokovic mistimed his swipe at critics and took the spotlight away from the women's champion. Djokovic was unfairly booed off court during the semi-final after he retired hurt after one set against Alexander Zverev. Djokovic injured his hamstring in the quarterfinal clash against Carlos Alcaraz as he battled through the four-set victory. There were doubts over whether Djokovic would be able to play against Zverev in the semi-final, with many feeling the Serbian was not as injured as it first appeared. This is because he was able to finish the intense match against Alcaraz and appeared to be moving better. John McEnroe and Jim Courier both agreed Djokovic was moving pretty well until his sudden retirement. Some fans on Rod Laver Arena unceremoniously booed Djokovic off the court, which prompted uproar. And in a swipe back at his critics, Djokovic posted a scan showing his torn hamstring on social media on Sunday morning. While it showed he was dealing with a significant injury in the semi-final, the post did not go down well with everyone. Some felt Djokovic should have waited to post his scan so he didn't take the spotlight away from Keys just hours after her victory.